if you're a part of this YouTube producer community, you probably have already come across the scam that occurred a couple of days ago. It is a pretty big deal, and it feels like the biggest scandal in this community, in the producer community, since Palace Gunboy situation, where Palace was essentially stealing his friends and collaborators' samples and claiming placements for those. So some nasty, really nasty work. And so this current situation feels just as big, if not bigger than that, because that was about 2 people involved and potentially more, but there's 2 main characters, if we can say so. And it's likely a bigger deal than what it was back then, about 3 years ago with Palace and Gunboy. However, if you aren't in the loop about OpenBeat AI situation, I'll recap it quickly. A few days ago, Weaver Beats posted a video exposing that OpenBeat AI was essentially operating through Suno. Well, the problem is OpenBeat AI claimed their AI training was being done ethically, meaning that there was consent from producers who agreed to feed their work into AI. And this process takes a lot of work. It takes a long time. It's very tedious. And the results that you're going to get when you type your prompt, they're not going to be as realistic and as close to human because, again, it just nearly impossible to do with a limited amount of training material. However, they claim that this is the work that has been put into the training of their AI engine. And so Weaver Beats broke the story with investigation being done by one of his community members. And he basically found that OpenBeat AI was feeding the prompt results from Suno. So if you're typing your prompt on OpenBeat AI, it sends the request to Suno, then brings it back to OpenBeat AI and gives it. Now, OpenBeat AI, as part of their marketing efforts, asked, I guess they were in conversation with DJ Pain One, Boloda Producer, Ave McCree, Larry O, created content around OpenBeat AI and openly endorsed it and essentially misled their audiences to believe that this AI is ethically trained. Whether they did it knowingly or unknowingly, the damage was done. From where I stand, it looks like all of them were lied to because OpenBeat AI was not transparent. They just lied and deceived people, just like that situation between Palace and Gunboy. The guy just took the credit for somebody else's work. Again, it was his buddy. Now, I must say, it is normal situation when one side, by the use of the API system, takes the results that another platform is generating and they're pushing it through their platform. So that's okay. That's a pretty common practice on internet. But in this case, the deception is the culprit. They lied and deceived people into believing that this is their engine that is being trained ethically with the consent of people who are submitting their personal work into this AI machine. But that's not the truth. So here's where we at currently with this situation. Looks like the first apology came from DJ Pain One, and I appreciate that because I support him. We're all people. We make mistakes. I make mistakes on a daily basis. Not big ones like this, but I've been let go of from jobs in the past too for doing some things I shouldn't have done. I made mistakes in my life. I admit to that. As long as you take accountability for your actions, try to get better in future, and make it right by people who look up to you, I think we can forgive that. And this does not change my view on who DJ Pain One is. I truly believe he's an honorable person and he's a good guy. And again, we all make mistakes. So kudos to him for apologizing. Abe McCree kind of did the same thing, but not to that same extent. I can't say that I've been a loyal follower of his for a long time, I can watch his videos here and there from time to time, but I believe he still said sorry, and that counts as well. So I would appreciate that as a viewer, as a follower. Bolo, that producer, refused to apologize for whatever reasons, and I got nothing to say there because I wasn't even following his channel, so fine by me. And we haven't heard anything from Larry O, whom I followed for a long time, but recently have been disappointed in his content because it seems like he does like to pump things up a little bit. He's always optimistic. He's always hyping stuff. It's like he's always happy about any product and everything that has to do with FL, but it looks like he's sort of a brand ambassador for FL Studio, and so anything that FL Studio comes up with, he's obviously gonna support, and he's not gonna talk about it in a bad light. And the situation with OpenBeat AI seems like he was given some kind of perks. I don't know if he got paid for that or not. Neither do I care. However, he probably needs to support his content by taking sponsorships. What can we learn from this situation is that you do need to have quite the eye for discernment when you get paid or get some kind of perks for promoting somebody else's product. And you have to do a thorough research and investigation into what this product is, who the people are that make it, and so it may damage your brand in the future. That way, if you feel like something is off, you probably should just stay away from it. That's my personal opinion, but everybody's making their own choices, and then they have to reap the rewards, so to speak. Busyworks Beats kind of gave his 2 cents. He didn't openly promote OpenBeat AI in his video, but he did make some content that could lead some people to go ahead and subscribe for the service, even though he said he had some troubles when trying to generate some results on the website. However, he still did an apology video as well, even though I feel like he isn't really a part of this, but to some weird extent, him just being the biggest channel in the music producer community, it's kind of like he decided to throw his 5 cents into this one as well and apologize if his content misled anybody into believing that this is an ethical company. And I can appreciate that as well. Now, how do we move forward from this? There's no stopping AI. It's only going to get bigger and more different and better. And at this point, I just don't know whether I can trust the people behind these AI companies, because it looks like they're in the race right now to make a better thing that would make them the most amount of money. And so I don't see the genuine heart input in it. It's like everyone just wants to make the best thing, which is great. It's a free market and it's a competitive market. That's awesome. That's good. I think a lot of good things will come out of it. But for producer community, it seems to be a struggle because a lot of creative input is involved. People need to be paid for their authorship. I would like to get paid for the work that I do in this cold basement of my house, sometimes spending hours upon hours coming up with beats or samples. And I wouldn't want to find my music out there somewhere without my consent. We all would like to make money with our art, but it looks like it's getting a lot more difficult these days. We'll see where it goes, but my trust in AI generative music platforms is definitely, I want to say, broken. Not that I've paid for any of those services up until this point, but after this point, I'm probably not going to be paying for any of them. I just don't feel like doing that. I'm just gonna continue creating my own samples. Call me an old head, call me crazy, call me, I don't know, slow, because, the progress is going far and it seems like I'm gonna be left behind, but I don't think so. But I do what I like. I enjoy the process. I'm not trying to get there faster by cutting corners. And it looks like those who are, they are risking to fly too close to the sun, if you know what I mean. And if you do, let me know in the comments. I'd like to have a chat. Let's keep talking about this. This is definitely the topic of the day and of the next days to come. probably for a long time. So I think we should continue the conversation until we see that it's going in the right direction for us. Shout out to Weaver Beats. He broke this whole story. He's basically the reason why we're talking about it here. I believe he was the one who broke the palace story as well. So crazy times, crazy times. All right, peace.